So today we're going to be making a brush. Making brushes is actually deceptively easy. Of course, you can make it more and more complex as you learn more and more about Photoshop. But it is as simple as taking a selection tool, and we already know about our selection tools. We have a decent amount of them. So we have our lasso tools, or we have our object selection, quick selection, or magic wand. Okay. So it's as easy as taking a selection. So I'm just going to I'm going to have it do a random selection, taking a texture image and just doing a selection. So I've got my object selection. I'm just going to click and drag through this. Whatever it grabs, it grabs. And then I'm going to show you what menu option to go to make this a brush. Okay. So I'm just going to go up to Edit. Where is it at? Define brush preset. Define brush preset. So this is a little icon showing what my brush is going to look like. Okay, it's not going to keep the color in there. It's going to kind of grayscale it. Okay, so I can name this just foil 1. Okay, press OK. Okay, now I've got this foil 1 brush. So if I wanted to, I don't know, make a new layer, and let's just see what it looks like. So Command D to deselect. Let's just see what this looks like. I'm just going to click the blue there. So my opacity, my flow is at 28%. Maybe I take that up. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. So I put my flow up, and it allows me to see my brush a little bit darker. So what I could do with this is I could go in and change my brush presets, wherever that's at. Hold on. Oh, it's not in here. So window, I could change my brush settings. Okay, and I could really customize this with scattering, shape dynamics, etc. Or I could even come over here and I could just start rotating manually. So this little circle right here allows me to rotate or even squeeze or skew my brush. And I can do this manually, okay? Rather than have it do it randomly like I always suggest, okay? So that's up to you. But there's other ways to customize or create a brush as well, okay? If you don't want to do like a specific selection like that, if you want to do more of a soft edge, what you can do is you can take the lasso tool with a feather of, let's say 30, I don't know, 30 to 50, something like that. So let's go 45, a feather of 45. This will produce a soft edge brush. Okay, so I can do like a very abstract organic selection right here, just kind of whatever. Okay, and I can, again, go to Edit, Define Brush Preset. It's going to give me a little preview of what it looks like. Okay, and I'm just going to call this Feathered Brush. Press OK. Let's create a new layer and see what this looks like. Turn off my visibility on that. Command D to deselect. And let's see what this looks like. I'm going to do a different color here. I'm going to swap to red. See what it looks like. Boom. Okay, so what I mean by feathered edge, so this edge is, let me decrease the size of my brush here. This edge right here is just a soft edge, okay? Because it would look really weird if it was like a super hard edge or super crisp. Okay, so we soften that edge, make it look a little bit more natural when we maybe go into the brush settings and randomize it, okay? So I'm gonna do one more, and I'm gonna do this a little bit differently. I'm going to create a new layer on top of my layer 0. The reason I'm doing this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a brush that's already created, and I'm going to use that as kind of an outline or a template or a selection. I'm going to do some brushes on top of this layer, command click it to select it, and then define that as a brush. Okay, so you'll see what I'm doing in a second here. So I'm going to do, let's just do a watercolor brush. Let's see if this works. I'm going to do this one right here. This one has a little bit of a rough edge to it. I'm going to increase the size of it. Okay, and I'm going to do this brush on a separate layer. So layer 3, it's a blank layer. I'm going to do this brush. I kind of want it a little bit more random that, or I could do, yeah, let's do the brush settings and let's kind of scatter it a little bit. It gives me a little preview right here. So I'm going to do a little bit of scatter, shape dynamics. I'm going to do an angle jitter. So it changes that angle quite a bit. Okay, now I'm gonna click and drag through. Boom, I got my selection. Okay, now I'm gonna go to layer 3. I'm gonna hold Command over it, and it'll show me a different icon. Okay, so you see that little dotted line? That means it's going to select everything that I did on this layer. Okay, so that little dotted square, when I click this, it'll do the little running ants all over my brush here. Okay, so here's my running ants. Now I'm gonna go to layer 0. I'm gonna turn off the visibility. Now I have this selection all over my texture, and I'm using that as a template to make a new brush. Okay, so edit, define brush, and now I've got this cool textured edge brush. Okay, so textured edge. Cool. There we go. So now I've got three new brushes that I created. And I named each one, so just foil 1, this is a pretty generic one, feathered brush, and a textured edge. So using a brush to create a nice edge to my brush, or like a little bit more randomized. Okay, let's see what the textured edge brush looks like. So I'm gonna go down and select it. Let's turn off the visibility of layer 0. And let's turn my flow back up. So for some reason flow got turned down again. There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna change this color. Let's change it to green, so I just have a different color for each brush. Cool. All right, looks cool. And you can toggle the eyeball on and off just to kind of see the difference between your brushes here. See which one you like. So I actually really do like the layer 1, my magic wand brush. I did like my magic wand brush quite a bit. Okay, so I might use that one. Okay, all right. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Have fun making brushes.